Hey Taurus, this is Perrymore Tarot's weekend reading from June 7th through the 9th, 2024. This is for Taurus. Last shuffle for Taurus. Let's see what's going on. Let's see. All right, Taurus. So we have optimism and we have decrease. So some of you may be, okay, well, there's some things slowing down and you may need to be optimistic. You may be used to a fast pace if they're asking you to be aware of remaining optimistic, right? If you're needing to be aware of that, then that means that things are going to slow down, and you have to know that it's slowing down just to speed back up. Yeah, they're saying you have to tell yourself that, like, obviously what goes up must come down, what goes down must come up, right? It's going to bounce back up. It's like you have to stay that way. Knight of Cups and the Queen of Swords is like you have to tell yourself these things, these logical things, right? What goes up must come down, right? But then, the opposite of that is true. The Knight of Cups, Queen of Swords, Eight of Swords, and the World with optimism. So they're saying that you could be thinking the worst. Things could be slowed down to the point where you may be thinking it's so slow that I may incur a loss. There may be a loss in this, right? You may feel like something is like, well, that's it. So say this is business, say this is finance, right? You are killing it for spring. Say the spring quarter, you really made a lot of money, or you really made a lot of deals, or whatever it is, sold a lot of product or created a lot of different things. But then now there's a slump. Then they're saying at this point everything's kind of slowing down, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. This is time for you to actually get yourself balanced, get yourself set, not to think the worst, because they're showing something here about saying, wow, well, that vein is closed. Like, say, like you tapped out on that, like that's never going to come back in style. Maybe it's a trend. They're not saying something is a trend here. They're saying, like, logically something had to um well, I mean, it would be a trend, right, with the world. That means that it would advance to the next thing. But this would be time for you to brainstorm. This would be time for you to shut the world out and meditate on whatever it is that you'd like to do next, even with the same thing. Say it was a product, the same product, but maybe add different scents, or a different same thing but different packaging or something here. They're kind of giving off a vibe of like, now's the time for you to be kind of happy, focus on finding joy. Your imagination may be, well, for you may be saying, you know what, I can't even tap into my imagination right now. I can't even really find myself, um, because I want to, the things that you may come up with, you're like, I want to love it though the first time. Like that, it may be difficult to visualize the next thing, because you may you may shoot it down before it could ever get past the imagination stage. Who would like, rainbow colored da 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 da? I mean, really, seriously. And it's like you'll talk yourself out of that, whatever you come up with, and you may love it, and you're supposed to be happy and expand. Professional assistance is a magician and Queen of Cups. This would be a person who may be the one telling you to accept your negative thoughts. This may be the one to say, well, it is what it is. I mean, and they may be suggesting worst case scenarios themselves out of a place of saying they're just being logical or just keeping it real. Be very careful of people who do that. I mean, it may suck, and then what? It's like it's okay to be in that space, but Spirit's telling you about this to not allow their words to put you in a place of doubting yourself. Okay, because if you're having to be optimistic in this energy, that means that anyone else coming in, even if they're waxing sympathetic, yeah, they're more so just, they're trying to manipulate the situation, but not in the way that you think, not like in a bad way. It's more like they want to tap into your heart. They don't know how to, so they're just trying different tactics. And it seems like someone's tactic may be, may create self-doubt within you, but to them that's not a thing. They're so confident in themselves, they're so cocky in themselves. They've accepted everything about themselves and they still try to make that work. but they don't know that you're not wired, you know what I mean, in a way where you would like to be, I won't say psychologically played with, but you need more encouragement rather than that kind of manipulation. You know what I mean? Some people need that, like you have to play mind games with them to get them to, you know what I mean? Like, well, if that happens and that happens and this is gonna happen. It's like you need more of like you it can happen, but it can happen though. Because you already do enough negative thinking for yourself. I think that's really where it's coming from. Because I meet people who really do kind of need that, like the the roasting and whatnot, or not just that. This isn't saying roasting, but this is their tactic. Is like, well, maybe you did lose, maybe that is wrong, but you got to accept it, man. That it's just like like if you bring up anything negative, they automatically just go with it. They accept that first. You're like, well, maybe we do have red. When you go, oh, but red's not good. This, that, and the third. Well, then we just can't do red. Then, like, they don't go any further. At least that's what this looks like, and it causes you to question things. And instead of saying, well, how can we get red done? How can that be possible? So the conflict with temperance and the sun, um, honestly, someone's impatient. There's some system or something that happens, and it's really patience is an issue. The conflict is have a feeling like time. For some people, it's like they feel like time's running out. I got to get something done now. Others are like, it doesn't have to be done right. There's a conflict with wanting to get something done now versus, oh, it'll be done in due time. I'm not sure which one's which, because I would assume that this person here, the professional assistance person, would be the one that would accept whatever. If you said, the conflict is being, definitely, you need to believe in yourself. That conflict is like, you really do need to believe in yourself. Trust your intuition. Your intuition is not leading you astray. And you may be inspired or uh, realize that you need to be optimistic in your situations, and whatever it is, you need to speak optimistically too, no matter what anyone says, no matter how negative it is. It's like, well, you live to fight another day. I don't know, something. I know that's stoic, right? But this very much so with the professional assistant. This person, that's the one that's saying, yeah, they're the one that you might have to be optimistic towards, because it's like it can still get done. If it doesn't get done, but it's like there's something about them being manipulative and you needing to trust yourself. The energy is the cycle of decrease would be like the energy would be on a downward spiral, downward a decline, right? And so this would say that you may not. It's like you may be in a space where you don't want to regret anything. You don't want to mess anything up. So you may overthink things. It's asking you not to overthink anything. That you're really, really sharp. Trust your mind. Come up with a plan. Believe in it, and do it as you feel compelled to do it. I want to say they're asking you. They're saying that there's a conflict in time. So I don't know if there's something where you're gonna have to do something quickly, or like the deadline is coming up. You've got this, I think, is what they're trying to say as well. Optimism is like, you've got this. So I hope this connects or makes sense, because this feels so specific. I feel like I'm talking to like this one tourist, like, yeah, 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 do I have this though? And it's like, yeah, you got this. But you could be dealing with a Capricorn, a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. Mm-mm-mm. You have every sign here except for your sign in Virgo. So, yeah, that's what we got here. The cusp signs could be Capricorn, Aquarius, Aquarius, Pisces, Pisces, Aries cusp. You could be an Aries, Taurus cusp, or a Taurus, Gemini cusp, but we have Gemini, Cancer cusp, Cancer, Leo cusp, and Libra, Scorpio cusp, Scorpio, Sagittarius cusp, Sagittarius. Yep. All right, if you're not dealing with those signs could also be in your chart. If you'd like to book a personal reading with me, my links are on my page. Peace, love, and light. Take care.